Well, hey there. Sorry for the shakiness of the camera. I'm just sitting on my bed trying to do a little video. Yesterday, I did not make a video. I woke up yesterday morning feeling very badly. And what I mean by very badly is my balance was very off. Was having trouble walking without having to grab onto something because I just felt like I was gonna go over. I was feeling very confused in my head, foggy. Was getting headache. And I was still just sweating so much. I really wasn't very functional. And so I had my mom. She thought I should go get checked out at the ER. Because she was like, "You don't look so well." And so I did go. It was a very chaotic time. Yesterday at the ER, there was a lot going on. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I'm just grateful that I have tools that I can use to help remind me in the moment that, what I'm witnessing or hearing around me is not happening to me, even though it brings up, some things. And so, I went there and I was really sick. I was even shaking. My whole body was shaking, couldn't stop shaking. Breathing was not very fun. But, as I'm sitting there in the waiting room, I start hearing all kinds of stuff over the intercoms. The first thing that I heard, I didn't even hear the rest of the message. The only two words that stuck out in my mind were cardiac arrest. And, the minute I heard that, and being in a hospital setting, and it just it really, my dad, he died suddenly of a massive heart attack in the downstairs bathroom and of the house we were living in, and I found him there. In the moment, I didn't know that he had already passed on. I thought maybe he was unconscious because he wasn't responding. He had fallen forward and hit his head. So I just wasn't sure, and he had epilepsy, so I wasn't sure maybe if he had a seizure. Sometimes that happened. So here I am, this 15-year-old girl, just faced with this. I don't really know what's happening, but I hear those two words, and of course I'm instantly brought back to that bathroom, and that day. And so, it was really tough, to hear that. And like I had talked about in my first video that I made about my journey through this is, that being so, sick physically, can really just, all your defenses are just down, you're just so exhausted and depleted. And therefore the reason why the importance of, really taking care of oneself, so that you can get yourself through whatever might come up. So it happened to be, because then it kept repeating over the intercom, and it wound up being a pediatric cardiac arrest. which then just like brought it to like a whole other level of upsetness. And then about 5 minutes later after that was another call for a pediatric trauma that was being flown in by helicopter and arriving in 1 minute. So then that kept repeating. And, you know, it's just, you know, that's hard. It was hard. But I got through it because, you know, even through my not feeling well, I just had to remind myself, Danielle, you have the tools. You know, I shed a couple tears and then I told myself, you know, like, you got this. You know, you're here for you right now, and to, you know, get yourself some help and some care, extra care that you need right now, and that's what we're going to focus on. And I was able to move on. And it also brings me to the topic of triggers, you know, and that, I mean, I used to, when I was first, you know, trying to make it through this life, you know, daily, I was like, oh well, I just need to avoid triggers at all costs. You know, like just I am not gonna, you know, do anything or go anywhere. Or if someone's triggering me, I'm gonna tell them to stop doing that because it's triggering me. And then come to find out that that's not how that works. Because if you try to avoid all of your triggers, you basically just pretty much need to like stay in your bedroom forever and ever and ever and never ever go out or talk to anyone. Because the truth of the matter and the reality is that you're going to go out and triggers are going to pop up everywhere, all over the place, and when you least expect it. And so then I had to learn that it was up to me to find some way to react differently to triggers, and be able to, you know, process them and take care of myself through them when they did come up. And that is a lot of hard work. I will tell you, it is not fun. It's hard work. It's exhausting. And there's a lot that comes up with it. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of crying. Like, you know. So, yeah, not easy, but I absolutely necessary. So I was able to do that. I had to get 2 bags of fluids because I was dehydrated, and that was why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. It didn't matter how much fluids I was drinking. I could not possibly replenish everything I had been putting out from sweating so much for a whole week straight. So, yeah, I just needed some fluids, and then I was definitely feeling better. But I was there from I think around like 10:30 in the morning until got home around 10 at night, and you know, was just so exhausted. But I was treated well there. My nurse was really nice. Her name was Nellie. And she was really, really gentle and sweet, and I really appreciated her very much. So today I went to the store for the first time to pick up, I had to pick up a prescription for nausea. I've been struggling with nausea. And, you know, you got to get that under control because you got to eat. It's very important that you eat, you know, and drink. But when you're nauseous, that's really, really hard. So anyway, you know, picked up a couple of food items, and yeah, And I took Louis for a walk after eating a little bit of dinner. My stomach is not feeling good after putting a little bit of food in it. It's kind of yucky, but okay. So the other thing, yeah, so I've been singing. I don't know if I mentioned that. I've been singing to exercise my lungs, because singing is really all about breathing. It has nothing to do with your vocal cords, really. I mean, as long as they're vibrating together properly and you can produce sound, yeah, it's about your breath. So, and yeah, I've been doing that. I wanted to do a little thing where I recorded me singing a song, just doing the breathing, and I want to record it like every few days to see if I can like hear the progress, in my voice, getting a little bit stronger, being able to have a little bit more volume. And I'm using that as a fun way to kind of like gauge, how I'm doing in there. So we're getting through, and we're still going. So I'm just hanging out, resting now, because I did do a lot today, and you get very tired. I feel definitely way more stable emotionally and mentally, each day. I'm getting stronger again in that way too, because I'm determined. I don't determined, yeah, to not ever fall back into the place that I don't even really relate to anymore. Like I don't even relate or recognize the person that like used to be here talking, because it was different. I was very different. It was very different. Much more in touch now with the core of me, who I've always been before trauma ensued. So, for that, I'm just feeling good about that. So, keep on going. Take care of yourselves. Be good to you. And I'll see you tomorrow.